One, pressure is not punishment, it's preparation. When life presses in, it's not trying to break you, it's trying to build you. God doesn't put pressure on you to crush you, He uses it to shape you into the person you were meant to be. The heat refines your purpose, the weight trains your strength, and every squeeze is a step closer to your breakthrough. Two, your pressure point is your power point. Right where you feel most squeezed, that's where your power is born. Don't run from the pressure, lean into it. The pressure forces you to focus, to dig deeper, to discover strength you didn't know you had. Your greatest potential lies on the other side of your biggest challenge. Three, pressure reveals what's inside. Pressure doesn't just change you, it reveals you. It uncovers your faith, your grit, your resilience. It strips away excuses and distractions so the real you can shine through. When everything's on the line, your true character steps forward. Pressure pulls back the curtain on your purpose. Four, purpose in the pressure creates progress. The pressure you face is not random, it's a divine appointment for growth. It's designed to push you out of comfort and into calling. Every challenge, every struggle is a setup for your next level. If you trust the process, the pressure becomes the engine of your progress. One, pressure is not punishment, it's preparation. Pressure is one of those things everyone experiences, but few fully understand. It's uncomfortable, it feels heavy, and it can be overwhelming at times. Yet, it is one of the most powerful forces shaping who we are meant to become. The moment you realize that pressure is not punishment, but preparation, your entire perspective on struggle changes. Pressure isn't an enemy to fear or resist. It is a tool designed to build, to shape, and to prepare you for the purpose that awaits. It is the furnace in which your potential is refined. Think about the pressures you face daily, deadlines at work, difficult conversations with loved ones, financial strain, or the inner battle with self-doubt. These moments do not come to punish you or to remind you of your limitations. They come because your growth requires it. Like a blacksmith heating metal to make a sword, the heat and pressure are necessary to transform raw potential into something sharp, useful, and powerful. Without that pressure, you remain raw and untested, stuck in comfort zones that never lead to breakthrough. One of the key reasons pressure feels so unbearable is because it forces you to confront what is inside you. It pushes you beyond your usual limits and demands more than you think you have. At first, this can feel like an unfair burden, an unwanted challenge that just makes life harder. But the truth is, pressure serves a divine purpose. It awakens hidden strengths and forces you to grow in ways that comfort never could. Preparation does not happen in easy seasons. It happens in the moments that stretch you, challenge you, and even break you down so that you can be built back up stronger. History and personal experience both show that every significant achievement or breakthrough came after a period of pressure and difficulty. The mountain climber who reaches the summit has endured the biting cold, the treacherous path, and the thin air that challenges every step. The artist who creates a masterpiece has wrestled with doubt, frustration, and countless failed attempts. The leader who inspires thousands has faced criticism, opposition, and moments where quitting seemed like the easiest option. In every case, pressure was the precursor to success, the unseen foundation that prepared them for victory. Pressure also has a way of focusing your attention and sharpening your vision. When everything is easy and smooth, it's tempting to drift or get distracted. But when pressure comes, it forces you to narrow your focus and prioritize what truly matters. In the face of pressure, excuses fall away and the urgency to act grows. Pressure demands clarity. It asks you to decide what you stand for and what you are willing to fight for. It brings your purpose into the spotlight and forces you to align your actions with your deepest calling. One of the most powerful lessons about pressure is that it isn't random or meaningless. It's not just the universe's way of being cruel or testing your limits for no reason. Pressure is purposeful. It is intentional and designed for your growth. There is a divine wisdom working through your hardships, using them to prepare you for a destiny far greater than what you can see in the moment. Your pressure-filled moments are like seeds planted deep beneath the soil, invisible now but destined to sprout and flourish when the time is right. When you begin to view pressure as preparation, you gain resilience. You start to understand that the discomfort you feel is temporary and that it is working for you, not against you. This mindset shift empowers you to face challenges with courage and determination, knowing that every trial is an opportunity to build strength. Instead of shrinking back, you step forward into the fire, confident that it will not consume you but purify you. Preparation through pressure also teaches patience. Growth rarely happens overnight, and breakthroughs are often the result of slow, steady progress through difficult seasons. Pressure helps you develop endurance, the ability to keep going even when you don't see immediate results. It reminds you that every struggle has a timeline and that the process itself is part of your transformation. The pressure you face today is molding you into someone capable of handling even greater responsibility and impact tomorrow. In the journey of life, pressure is the signpost that you are moving in the right direction. If you never feel stretched or challenged, it may be a signal that you are staying too comfortable, avoiding the risks necessary for growth. Pressure invites you to rise, to expand your capacity, and to prepare for what lies ahead. It breaks down old patterns and limitations so that new possibilities can emerge. In practical terms, how do you respond when pressure comes? The first step is to recognize it for what it truly is: preparation, not punishment. This recognition changes your relationship with pressure from one of fear and avoidance to one of acceptance and even gratitude. It encourages you to ask, what is this pressure trying to teach me? How is it preparing me for my next level? Rather than wasting energy resisting, you invest it into learning and growth. Next, embrace the process of preparation. This means committing to your growth even when it's uncomfortable. It means showing up every day with persistence, faith, and focus, knowing that every small step forward counts. Preparation is not glamorous or easy. It often involves hard work, sacrifice, and discipline. But it is the essential process that bridges the gap between who you are now and who you are meant to become. Surround yourself with support that reinforces this perspective. Pressure can feel isolating, but it doesn't have to be. Connect with people who remind you of your potential and purpose, who encourage you to keep going, and who believe in your ability to overcome. Sometimes the pressure becomes manageable simply because you are not facing it alone. Lastly, remember that preparation through pressure is deeply tied to your inner belief system. The strength to endure pressure and the ability to grow through it comes from a foundation of faith. Faith in yourself, faith in your purpose, and faith in the greater plan at work in your life. This faith fuels resilience and helps you stay steady when everything else feels uncertain. Pressure is a universal experience, but it does not have to be a defeating one. When you change your view of pressure from punishment to preparation, you unlock a powerful force for transformation. The pressure that feels like a burden today is actually the forge that will create the breakthrough you need tomorrow. Every challenge is an invitation to rise. Every difficulty, a call to prepare for greatness. Your pressure has a purpose, and when you embrace it, you step into your destiny. 2, your pressure point is your power point. Pressure is not just something to endure, it's a catalyst that unlocks your greatest power. The very spot where you feel the most squeezed, stretched, or strained is often the exact place where your potential is waiting to be released. Your pressure point is not a weakness, it's the doorway to your breakthrough. When you learn to lean into the pressure instead of running from it, you tap into a source of strength that elevates you beyond your current limitations. It's a strange paradox that pressure, which feels like a burden, can become your greatest source of power. But it's true, pressure forces you to focus, to clarify, and to engage parts of yourself that remain dormant in easier times. When life pushes you against the wall, you're forced to respond with resilience and creativity. The challenge ignites a fire inside that motivates you to rise, adapt, and conquer. Your pressure point, the place where you feel the pinch most acutely, is actually where your power is being forged. Many people fear pressure because it exposes vulnerabilities. It can feel like the world is closing in and you're being crushed under the weight of expectations, responsibilities, or setbacks. But here's the truth. Pressure is a test, not of your breaking point, but of your breakthrough point. It's an invitation to prove to yourself how much more you're capable of than you ever believed. When you start seeing pressure this way, you stop fearing the pinch and start embracing it as a sign that something powerful is on the horizon. Your pressure point also reveals your unique strengths and gifts. The challenges you face are rarely random. They are often aligned with your purpose. The very problems that stretch you also shape you and prepare you to serve others in ways only you can. Your struggles can become your testimony, your source of wisdom, and the platform for your influence. The pressure reveals what makes you different, what you have to offer that no one else can. It's where your power waits, hidden beneath the surface of discomfort. Pressure forces clarity. When you are comfortable, it's easy to get distracted, to settle for less, or to lose sight of your vision, but pressure strips away the noise. It demands focus and prioritization. Suddenly, what matters most becomes clear because the stakes are high. You don't have time or energy for anything that doesn't move you closer to your goals. Your pressure point channels your energy, sharpens your mindset, and directs your actions toward breakthrough. This is why pressure can often feel like a crucible, a severe test or trial, but it's important to understand that crucibles don't destroy, they purify. The pressure intensifies your focus, refines your character, and strengthens your resolve. What comes out of the crucible is a stronger, clearer, more powerful version of yourself. When you see pressure as a refining fire, your pressure point becomes a power point. It is also at your pressure point where you learn the greatest lessons about perseverance. Pressure demands endurance, the ability to keep moving forward even when the road is hard and the outcome uncertain. Perseverance builds character and deepens your capacity to face future challenges with confidence. Each time you push through pressure, you expand your limits and grow your reservoir of strength. Your power increases in direct proportion to your willingness to endure and overcome pressure. How you respond to pressure reveals your mindset. Do you see pressure as a threat or an opportunity? Do you shrink back or rise up? The answer to these questions shapes your destiny. When you embrace pressure, you develop a mindset of growth and resilience. You start to see obstacles as stepping stones, failures as lessons, and setbacks as setups for success. This mindset transforms pressure from a source of anxiety into a source of power. Your power point also grows when you refuse to be defined by your circumstances. Pressure often tries to convince you that you are stuck, limited, or broken, but your power lies in your refusal to accept that lie. You choose to see beyond your current struggle and envision the victory that awaits. This vision fuels your determination and ignites your passion. It empowers you to keep fighting even when the pressure mounts. Another reason your pressure point is your power point is because pressure forces innovation. When old methods fail and resources are scarce, you are pushed to think differently. Pressure breeds creativity because it demands solutions. It breaks down complacency and forces you to find new ways forward. Many breakthroughs in history and personal lives happen because someone refused to give up under pressure and instead found a fresh approach that unlocked their potential. It's important to remember that pressure points are personal. Everyone's pressure point looks different because everyone's journey and calling are unique. What feels like unbearable pressure to one person might feel like a challenge or even an opportunity to another. The key is to identify where your pressure points are, those specific areas in your life or work that stretch you the most, and then lean into them. Your power lies in your unique response to your unique pressure. Pressure also demands vulnerability. To harness the power in your pressure point, you must be willing to face your fears, doubts, and insecurities head on. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's courage in action. It's the willingness to admit you don't have all the answers, but you are ready to grow. When you are vulnerable under pressure, you open the door to support, learning, and breakthrough. Your power point grows when you stop pretending and start being real. There is a spiritual dimension to your pressure point as well. Many people find that pressure deepens their faith or inner strength. It strips away superficial beliefs and brings you face to face with what you truly trust. This spiritual refining creates a foundation of hope and courage that sustains you through difficult seasons. The pressure point becomes a place of spiritual awakening where you discover the strength that comes from beyond yourself. Your pressure point can also inspire others. When you overcome pressure and turn it into power, your story becomes a beacon of hope. It shows others that pressure is not a dead end, but a doorway. Your journey encourages those around you to face their own pressure with courage. Your power point becomes a source of light, guiding others out of their struggles and into their strength. The process of turning pressure points into power points involves intentional practices. First, it requires self-awareness, knowing where you feel the pressure most and how it affects you. Second, it requires mindset work, training yourself to see pressure as opportunity, not obstacle. Third, it involves action, taking steps forward even when you don't feel ready or confident. And fourth, it includes rest and renewal, recognizing that power grows best when you balance effort with recovery. Pressure can also be a call to leadership. When you face pressure and rise through it, you develop qualities that make you a leader in your community, workplace, or family. Leaders are not those who avoid pressure, but those who thrive under it. They inspire by example, showing others that pressure can be a pathway to greatness. Your pressure point shapes you into a leader by teaching resilience, vision, and courage. It's worth noting that pressure often comes in seasons. Some seasons are heavier, filled with more demands and challenges. Other seasons are lighter, giving you time to rest and prepare. Understanding this cyclical nature helps you navigate pressure with grace. You learn to work hard when pressure is high and to restore yourself when pressure eases. Your power point grows strongest when you respect this rhythm and adapt accordingly. The people who master their pressure points understand the value of perspective. They don't measure success by the absence of pressure, but by their ability to grow through it. They see pressure as proof that they are moving forward, not falling behind. This perspective turns pressure into a motivating force that propels them toward their dreams and destiny. In relationships, pressure points often reveal hidden dynamics and opportunities for growth. Pressure can bring conflict, but it also opens the door for deeper understanding and connection. When you lean into relationship pressure, you develop empathy, patience, and communication skills. Your power point in relationships grows when you face discomfort instead of avoiding it. Finally, your pressure point is your power point because it teaches you the value of perseverance. The strength you build through pressure stays with you. It becomes a reservoir you can draw from in future challenges. Each time you overcome pressure, you reinforce your belief that you are capable, resilient, and unstoppable. 3, pressure reveals what's inside. Pressure is a powerful truth teller. When life gets heavy and the stakes get high, the real you comes to the surface. Pressure doesn't just add difficulty, it exposes the core of who you are. It pulls back the curtain on your character, your faith, your resilience, and the foundation of your identity. Under pressure, all pretenses fall away, and what's inside is revealed. This revelation can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it is also essential. Pressure strips away illusions so that the authentic you can emerge stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's next. The idea that pressure reveals what's inside can be hard to accept when you're in the midst of struggle. When everything feels overwhelming, it's tempting to believe that pressure is unfair or random. But pressure doesn't define you, it uncovers you. It shows what you've built inside yourself over time. If you've invested in patience, faith, and grit, pressure will reveal those qualities. If you've relied on shortcuts or surface level confidence, pressure exposes those cracks. Either way, pressure is the ultimate test of your internal foundation. Think of pressure as a kind of X-ray for your soul. It passes through the surface distractions and external circumstances to highlight what's really holding you up or what's threatening to make you fall. When the pressure comes, you can no longer hide behind appearances or routines. Your true beliefs, values, and strength are revealed in how you respond. Pressure demands authenticity because there's no room for pretense when the stakes are high. One of the ways pressure reveals what's inside is by amplifying your mindset. It brings your inner dialogue into focus. When pressure hits, what you tell yourself matters more than ever. Do you speak words of encouragement and hope, or do you fall into despair and doubt? Pressure magnifies the power of your thoughts and beliefs. It's a spotlight on your internal narrative, exposing whether it lifts you up or tears you down. This is why developing a strong positive mindset before pressure arrives is so important, because pressure will reveal and test whatever mindset you've built. Pressure also reveals your capacity for faith. When everything is uncertain and outcomes hang in the balance, faith becomes the anchor that steadies you. Pressure exposes whether you truly believe in your purpose, your strength, or a higher power guiding your journey. It shows whether your faith is deep-rooted or superficial. People with deep faith often find that pressure doesn't overwhelm them. Instead, it draws them closer to their beliefs and provides peace amid chaos. Pressure reveals if your faith is a shield or just a shield you wish you had. Beyond mindset and faith, pressure reveals your resilience, the ability to bounce back and keep going. Resilience is not something you can fake. It's built over time through experience, attitude, and choice. Pressure tests your resilience by pushing you to your limits and beyond. It exposes whether you have developed the grit to endure setbacks and disappointments without giving up. Resilience reveals itself in your willingness to get back up after falling and to keep moving forward even when the road is tough. Another way pressure reveals what's inside is through your emotional response. When you're under pressure, emotions run high: fear, anxiety, frustration, anger, hope, and determination all mixed together. Your emotional management during pressure reveals your emotional intelligence and maturity. Can you hold yourself steady in the storm, or do emotions control your actions? Pressure exposes whether you respond with clarity or chaos, whether you seek solutions or get stuck in overwhelm. The emotional response is a mirror that reflects your inner strength or vulnerability. Pressure also reveals your character, those deeper traits that define who you are when no one is watching. Integrity, humility, patience, and courage are often tested under pressure. It's easy to have these qualities when life is smooth, but pressure forces you to live them out when it's hard. Your true character is revealed in how you treat others during pressure, whether you stay honest and kind or whether you react with bitterness and selfishness. Pressure uncovers your true self by challenging you to act with dignity and grace despite the difficulty. One of the most profound ways pressure reveals what's inside is by exposing your purpose. When distractions fall away and comfort zones are broken, pressure brings your purpose into sharp focus. It forces you to ask, why am I doing this? What am I working toward? What is truly important? Pressure reveals whether your purpose is clear and compelling enough to keep you going or whether it needs to be rediscovered and reignited. Purpose becomes the fuel that sustains you through pressure, and pressure uncovers how deeply connected you are to that purpose. Pressure can also bring to light hidden talents and strengths. Sometimes we don't know what we're capable of until we're tested. Pressure pushes you to tap into reserves of creativity, problem solving, and leadership that you didn't realize you had. It reveals untapped potential by forcing you to stretch beyond what feels comfortable. Many people discover their greatest abilities precisely because pressure demanded they find a new way forward. The pressure reveals these hidden treasures inside you, waiting to be unlocked. The revealing nature of pressure also applies to relationships. Pressure exposes the quality and depth of the support systems around you. It shows who truly stands with you in hard times and who only appears in easy seasons. Pressure reveals the strength of your connections and the authenticity of your community. It can be painful to see some relationships fall away, but this revelation is necessary for growth. Pressure clears the way for stronger, more supportive relationships to form. Moreover, pressure reveals your priorities. When everything is on the line, you can no longer afford to waste time or energy on what doesn't matter. Pressure exposes what you truly value because you're forced to make tough choices. It separates the essential from the trivial and clarifies where you need to invest your focus. This clarity about priorities is a gift that pressure offers, even though it comes wrapped in difficulty. Pressure also uncovers your capacity for gratitude. It's not easy to be thankful when you're under strain, but those who develop the habit of gratitude reveal a strength of spirit that transcends circumstance. Pressure reveals whether you can find small blessings amid hardship or whether you get consumed by frustration. Gratitude is a powerful tool that transforms pressure from a weight into a window of opportunity. It reveals a heart that chooses to see good even when life feels hard. The way pressure reveals what's inside often leads to transformation. Once the pressure uncovers hidden fears, doubts, or weaknesses, it also offers a chance to address and overcome them. Pressure forces self-reflection and honesty, which are prerequisites for growth. When you acknowledge what's inside, both strengths and areas needing improvement, you can take intentional steps to become a better version of yourself. Pressure becomes the mirror that leads to breakthrough. There's also a spiritual truth in how pressure reveals what's inside. Many find that pressure moments deepen their connection to something greater than themselves. It awakens a sense of reliance on spiritual strength and opens the door to new levels of trust and surrender. Pressure reveals the depth of your spiritual foundation and can lead to profound renewal and empowerment. Understanding that pressure reveals what's inside empowers you to face challenges differently. Instead of fearing pressure as a sign of failure or weakness, you start to see it as a moment of truth and opportunity. Pressure becomes a spotlight that helps you know yourself better, strengthen your foundation, and clarify your path. This perspective encourages honesty, courage, and growth. The process of revelation under pressure is often uncomfortable because it demands vulnerability. It asks you to look inward without excuses, to confront parts of yourself that may have been hidden or ignored. This vulnerability is necessary because true growth and power come from self-awareness. Pressure forces you to stop pretending and start becoming real, and that's where true strength lives. Pressure also reveals what motivates you. When the going gets tough, your true motivators come to light. Do you push through because of external rewards, fear of failure, or genuine passion and purpose? Pressure exposes your why and helps you align your actions with what truly drives you. This revelation strengthens your commitment and perseverance. The lessons pressure teaches about what's inside are often lifelong. Every new challenge reveals something new, helping you to grow continually. Pressure is not a one-time event, but a recurring teacher that shows you new layers of your character, faith, and strength. Embracing this ongoing revelation allows you to evolve and expand your capacity to face whatever life brings. Your response to pressure's revelations also shapes your legacy. How you handle pressure influences the story you leave behind. When you face pressure with integrity, courage, and faith, you inspire others and build a life of significance. Pressure reveals what kind of person you are becoming and ultimately the impact you will have on the world. In some, pressure is not just a challenge to survive, it is a revelation to embrace. It pulls back the layers, shows you who you are, and invites you to grow. Pressure reveals your mindset, faith, resilience, emotions, character, purpose, talents, relationships, priorities, gratitude, and motivation. It exposes both your vulnerabilities and your strengths, making it a powerful tool for transformation. Understanding this truth empowers you to face pressure with honesty and courage, knowing that what's revealed inside will prepare you for the greatness ahead.